Understanding top-down analysis is paramount to your success in trading. In this video, I'll show you a live execution of this _NAS100 trade that me and the team caught live, and make sure to not skip any parts because after I will have a in-depth top-down analysis explaining how I caught that trade. If you guys have any questions, make sure to follow me and DM me on Instagram at Spektrades. And without further ado, let's get into this video.
Yeah, all of this is like a 15-second consolidation, accumulation, manipulation, clicking to distribute.
If you are interested in more in-depth and personal help, make sure you check out the first link in the description for the Patreon, where we have our Spektrades Mastery Hub, where you can access private mentorship lessons from beginner to advanced mastery, and also live training with me every single morning, and also daily pre and post market analysis and exclusive community access. So if you are interested, make sure you check out the first link in the description for the Spektrades Mastery Hub. Now that we're on the charts, I'll be going over exactly how I caught that live execution trade that you guys just noticed. First and foremost, I see that a lot of you guys are having a problem doing top-down analysis. Top-down analysis is truly paramount to your success in trading. So first and foremost, every single morning I do the pre-market analysis for the Patreon. So I start from the 4-hour time frames and sometimes the 1 hour. It depends on how low on the lower time frame I'm trying to go. So first I start on the 4-hour time frame, and what I can notice is that we had this 4-hour fair value gap, and then on this 4-hour fair value gap I just label it a 4-hour fair value gap, and then we see that price came and swept these old lows inside of this 4-hour fair value gap. So now I'm looking for price now to retrace from this 4-hour fair value gap. A lot of people, when they're on the higher time frame, they start looking at these lower zones, these big zones right here, and they get lost in these big zones. Right, you may see this right here or this broken order block, but look how far, right? Look how far price has to come back down all the way to fill in these zones. We are on the higher time frames, and we are trying to take our trade during the New York session on the lower time frames. We don't need price to come back all the way down here. We are looking for the recent structure where price may pull back into. Like right here, we know that the fair value gaps is the magnet of the market. So we see this right here, this 4-hour fair value gap. This is our higher time frame zone that we are looking for price now to tap into to go higher. Now let's get down lower to the 1 hour to see more price action. And now on the 1 hour, what we can notice inside of our 4-hour fair value gap, we have this 1 hour fair value gap. We're just gonna label this also, and all of this is inside of the 4-hour fair value gap. So this zone right here, this 1 hour fair value gap, is truly a powerful zone that we would like to see price pull back into. And me personally, I start my trading from 8 a.m. right here to around 12 p.m. That's the New York kill zone time. This is when I'm looking for my setup to happen every single day. And now we have our 4-hour zone. In our 1 hour zone, we can scale down even lower now to the 15-minute time frames to see even more price action. And now on the 15 minutes, we're just looking for more price action, more correlation, because now we are playing inside of our higher time frame zone. We have a 4-hour fair value gap and this 1-hour fair value gap that we're looking for price to pull back into. And me personally, I always use my Asian range right here. This is just a Asian range indicator called range bars by nephew Sam. If you guys don't know this already, I show this in a lot of videos, right? This is like the only indicator I use just to indicate where is the Asian range, right? So right here, as you guys can see, this is my Asian lows. This is my Asian lows. And then right here is my Asian highs right here. Perfect. And as you guys can see, price already came right here and cleared the Asian highs. Now, when buy side liquidity is taken, I'm looking now for sell side to get taken. All right, so when buy side is taken, when price clears our weak highs, I am looking for price now to come and clear our weak lows right here. We can even scale down even lower to the 5 minutes to see even more price action. And now on the 5 minutes, I'm going to show you guys the range on exactly why I picked this trade right here. So first, as you guys can see, this old low right here came and cleared all these internal range lows, purged through it, and then give us a breakup structure. You guys can go back on your charts also and observe this just so we can understand this even better. And then as you guys can see, after this breakup structure, price will then give us a pullback, right? This pullback was our Asian low, right? This was our Asian session, so I can remove it now. But this pullback was our Asian lows, right? It was our inducement, right? And then as you guys can see, if you guys watch my last video, the one of the strongest algorithmic models, right, the unicorn model, you guys can already notice right here, this was just a beautiful unicorn setup. We have a breaker block that pushed lower and took liquidity, and then price purged through it, and we have a fair value gap aligned with that breaker block. This is what we call a unicorn model. It's one of the strongest algorithmic models, right? As I stated in the previous video. So make sure you guys watch that video also if you guys don't understand this. As you guys noticed in the beginning of the video, I was looking for price to pull back in here, right? Pull back in this inside of this zone. So right here was our 1-hour fair value gap. And then inside of our 1-hour fair value gap, what can we notice? We have our 15-minute unicorn. So this is the zone right here I'm looking for price now to pull back into, so I can look for trades. So now I just have to sit patiently, right? That's the hard part. You have to sit patient and wait for price now to pull back inside of your higher time frame zone before you can see price pull back higher now. So now let's just play price and just see exactly how price approach our point of interest and what exactly how I enter this trade, right? And now I played a little bit more price action. What I had noticed when price came back down, we had this consolidation zone. Perfect. I had marked it in red, so make sure you guys rewind this video also so you guys can see this. I'm basically explaining every single thing that that happened during this trade. So we had this consolidation zone, and then price purged through it, as you guys can see, and cleared it, and then used this entry right here, this order block, push price higher. But I was still confident in my unicorn model, right? I was still confident in this setup because I know price will come back to this fair value gap. So I held my entry. All of it was just powerful. We are inside of a 4-hour fair value gap, inside of a 1-hour fair value gap, and then inside of a 15-minute unicorn model. And now I'm on the 5. This is how you are able to catch sniper entries on the lower time frames. You have to be inside of a higher time frame zone because the higher time frame zones will help you push price higher, right? Because they are stronger than the lower time frames. But the lower time frames will show you more price action where you can execute better. And now let's go down even more lower to the 3 minutes. And now on the 3 minutes, I'm just gonna play price a little bit until price comes and clear this old low right here. This old low failed to give us a higher high, right? It didn't come back and give us a breaker structure of this old high. So this old low, I'm expecting it to get broken clean. So let's just play price a little bit, and then we're gonna see when price taps inside our zone on how we can execute this setup. And then as you guys can see, price purged through that old low. But me personally, my stop loss would save me correctly. My stop loss was below these old lows right here. Was below. I always place my stop loss. Let's scale up to the 5 minutes. I placed my stop loss below these old lows right here. And that's what kept me safe in this trade, right? Because if you guys can remember in that video, if price had came back down and purged me lower and pushed a little bit lower, right, this right here will scare a lot of people when price is pushing down like this. That's why you need experience first. You need to be able to trust your own analysis and just know what you are looking for. If you are a beginner trader, this will scare you. You will not be truly confident in this trade right here, right? If you are like a truly beginner trader, because you probably don't know the market or how the market moves. But me personally, I've been trading NASDAQ for over 4 years now, and I know how this market moves, and I understand it, right? I understand it truly. So now as you guys can see, price that came inside of my zone right here, and then I scaled down lower even to the 1 minute just to see more price action. And now on the 1 minute, I was originally targeting this old high right here. This old high was like my original target, but then I had noticed this fair value gap. These fair value gaps are also draw on liquidity, right? A lot of people, they usually get greedy, right? They usually get greedy and they want price to go to an old high or something, right? But never get greedy, right? Take your profits at cheap spots, I would say. So this old high right here was like my main take profit zone because we had this fair value gap right here. This fair value gap, price is gonna attract to it, right? And then we might get a reversal lower. So I'm not willing to take that risk, right? And let the market reverse on me. So I'd rather just take my profit right here. So right here is my take profit zone. And then I bring it up a little bit. Perfect. And now I'm just monitoring this trade right here. And now on the 1 minute, I'm just looking for more price action now to push price higher. But look how price came close to my stop loss, but then reversed on us. Perfect, as you guys can see. And then price started pushing higher and then creating more price action. And then this is when I seen that price left this zone right here, right? This is like a 15-second zone that you guys may not be able to see, but this right here was like a inducement to me, right here is like an inducement. If you guys watch the live execution, this was like an execution, and I had brought this out right here. I extend this. This was like a second entry type zone. As you guys can see, you're gonna see how price reacts perfectly to this zone to push price even higher. Boom, and then you see that price cleared that lower time frame inducement, probably a 15-second or a 30-second. Price clears this inducement, tap inside of this zone right here. Perfect. And now we're looking for higher prices right here. And now I'm just looking for breakout structures, right? Either a breakout structure of this old high or this old high to give me my confirmation that I'm now safe inside of this trade. And now let's play a little bit more. And then right here is when I got my firm confirmation right here. This is when I got this breakout structure. As you guys notice in the live execution, I had circled this right here. I was telling the team on the live that right here, we are confirmed inside of this trade right here once we got this breakout structure clean. And now I had just extended my line because I was hoping for price to now to come and reuse this zone right here clean. This is just a broken order block. As you guys can see, this order block was supposed to hold for price to push lower, right, to go lower, but price purged through it. So now I'm looking for price to come back down here and reuse it to push price higher. And that's when I had extend my line to this fair value gap field, because price now will come back and refill this zone completely. As you guys can see, now let's play price. Price came back down, reuse this zone firmly, and my take profit is still at this old high. And I'm looking for price now to fill in this fair value gap completely. Now we're just gonna play price and see how this trade plays out. And then boom, as you guys can see, price came and cleared the old high. But me personally, I was still hoping for price now to come now and fill this firm and fill in this fair value gap completely. Now let's just play more. And boom, this is when the trade finally completed, right? Finally completed right here. This is when I closed the trade out, and then I had told the team that I am off the charts. But as you guys can see, we went from the 4-hour time frames to the 1 hour to the 15 minutes and then to the 1 minute time frames for us to execute this trade. This is what you call a proper top-down analysis. We are not just on the 1 minute scaling in, we are inside of higher time frame zones scaling in on the 1 minute. So we are more confident inside of our trades. We are able to hold our trades even longer, and we are more precise with our entries. But this is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a lot out of this video. Make sure you guys comment down below what you think. This is it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Spektrades out.